that are actually in the country, even though all of us are to be honourable, okay? So if we can agree on one thing, that we're not going to harm each other, that is it. We do not harm each other, whatever the circumstances, we hold that space, okay? So if people are getting harmed, then we hold them to account lawfully. But we're having a situation where the victims are getting turned into the attack feed, aren't we? We've got, and if you look at that, that is definitely part of the globalist agenda. If we look at an individual called Peter Sutherland, I don't think it's any relation to the Sutherland we know. Right, so if you look into Peter Sutherland, and he was a big globalist, he's died now. He was head of Royal Bank of Scotland, part of the Trilateral Commission. This individual, he was very open with saying that the EU should be doing its best to encourage the mass migration. And this was spawned, the planned agenda to undermine the hegemony of these Euro countries, so that there is a plan to destroy the nation state of the United Kingdom and to destabilise all of the communities that we have. So this weakens us and obviously puts forward a globalist corporate agenda where we have very little control of.
Oh, nice one. My heart bleeds. I use it for my club and my musical nails.
So Peter Sutherland actually, I quote, he said the EU should be doing its best to encourage mass migration to undermine the homogeneity, I can't say that word, of the European countries. And then we get a situation where the think tanks, the global leaders put this policy, and then it goes everywhere. So it's not just a United Kingdom issue, this is an issue with all countries around the world right now experiencing this same issue. And it's okay and it's lawful to come out and to share how you feel about this. You know, I love individuals, I'm not racist, I'm happy for people to move about and do whatever they need to do. But it goes beyond that. It's like a concerted effort all the time to destroy, and then political groups always come up and attack sovereign individuals, okay? So I don't represent any of these flags here, because for me they don't actually represent anything from my soul, right? I'll be quite happy with a black and white saltire. That's all I need, a black and white saltire, which is black and white, because black and white are not colours. Black and white are not colours. They're in between everything in colours, okay? It's yin and yang, that's why they have a checkered floor on their sort of Masonic halls. So you might have heard of some of these social development goals, these SDGs. This is the 17 sort of goals that they're now setting, part of the World Economic Forum, this conspiracy theory area here, but of course it's not. And remember that your corporate king is very much doing that. King Charles is very much a big voice in the World Economic Forum. And you have to question yourself, this state with the crown, the crown estate, what is the crown? You know, if you're going to hold people account, and you're going to hold people accountable for whatever you are not happy with, then we need to know what we're dealing with. Like, why is it that the government is not doing what the will of the people?
Great speech
like,
for
why
Tim Dennis.
is it that the courts are failing? Why is it that there are many constables and they're doing a good job and they're here to protect us, which is good, right, as constables? But why is it they just cross over into becoming officers and they just walk all over those basic rights. Is it that people are just taking advantage, or is there some sort of hidden agenda? Well, if you look at some of these 17 goals, 1 to 17, and by the way, it's number 10 and it's 10.7 that is the one that really means something in regards to the migration. That one is the reduced inequalities. So if you were to go onto the World Economic Forum and look at all these development goals, you wouldn't disagree with any of it. It all looks perfectly, makes total sense. But when you realise that it's all about the opposite, so if they say reduce poverty, it's like increase poverty, okay? That's one interesting thing. So yeah, we need to become knowledgeable about these basic facts, okay? Because there are plenty of proper facts, information, legislation, and acts.
I've just been told.
Now the government that are doing a fantastic job for you all in the background, and all these politicians and political people that represent you, all of them have signed up to various different international laws, okay? And this is true. I'm holding this here. This paperwork here is all the paperwork, and it's like the Charter of the United Nations, so it's the UN Charter. I've got the UN Declaration on Principles of International Law, right? I've got the Nuremberg War Tribunal. I've got the Suppression of Financing Terrorism. I've got the Rome Statute. I've got the International Criminal Court Act 2001. Right, so I've just reeled off a whole load of acts and statutes and stuff like that. Now these are all the laws that your politicians and your government are meant to stand behind and do. What if I told you that the government is breaking the law? Yeah, will the police come over here now and go and arrest them? Will they arrest the council? You know, are there any Dumfries and Galloway councillors here that want to look at the truth, the paperwork, right? So politicians, local councillors, they're ignoring all of this, and they're going off and doing their warring and killing, okay? And the whole migration issue is all connected and it's all linked in with it. And all it is weather to get everybody attacking each other, right? All divided, and then you get political parties coming up, stop this and stop that. I'm not saying stop anything, I'm like, keep loving, keep getting informed. Because there are laws. Now I know, because they've not been working for me either. They're breaking all these laws. What are we going to do about it? Yeah? The government. Keir Starmer is breaking the law, okay? Which one? Well, let's look then. Let's have a look at these things. You know, we know Tony Blair committed crimes. We keep talking about it, but what do we do about it? I bet you there's a lot of us that have fired in paperwork to the police station, and we've said, oh, there's all of these criminal things that have happened, okay? I don't even need to use the I word or the P word or the S word, what Syria, is it? Or any of these conflicts that are illegal. And the immigration is the same. We could go as far as saying that this is an act of terror on the public, like the immigration, okay? Because we are suffering. But as I said, we're not racist. All we're going to do is hold them to account. That's it. We've got to hold the king to account, right? We've got to hold the politicians to account, and we've got to work with our constables, right? With our constables under oath of what oath they have left to the public, and remember to know the difference, because they deceive us using the trust, yeah? The birth certificate trust, which are all, a lot of people here know all about this already, but a lot of the public don't. But they're deceiving you. They're deceiving you over the legal fiction name, and this runs deep through everything.
Go on, Tim.
Every single part of your life is infected by this octopus. It runs deep.
It's close to the bone, like, isn't it?
So it's time to wake up. That's what the genuine waking up is. It's about knowledge and understanding which comes from you. You know what's right or wrong. You know. It's that deep knowing. So, what are we going to do? I suggest we do something that's immensely peaceful. Immensely peaceful but powerful. Something that a disabled person can do. Something that, well, the dog might not, unless it's one of those funny dogs trained in Switzerland. But what we're going to do, okay, is we're going to start to lawfully withhold our tax. Okay? Oh, now we're going to start to get some backlash, are we? So first of all, if we said that we are breaking the law to fund terrorism, to fund something that's negative, that's illegal and unlawful, then you'd stop doing it. So if you said to a man in the street, do you pay tax? And they're like, of course I do. And I'm an upstanding citizen of that crown up there. And then it's suddenly like, okay, did you know that I'm now going to tell you, all this paperwork, that there's dodgy stuff going on? Like the government and the politicians are doing dodgy stuff. Would you now hold that back now that you know that you're funding crime? They'll either, well, of course they won't hit you, but you know, you get some friends that are like, Tim, you're absolutely nuts. Yeah? Because that's what they rely on as well. Oh, belittle you. You're silly, you don't know anything. You know, no, we're on the money. We're on the money. You can lawfully hold back your council tax. Lawfully, because we've got the paperwork. People that go to prison for not paying tax, they're not doing it this way, right? Which is like, you're actually saying, I'm happy to pay my tax, should you be able to provide me the information that you are not providing money in relation to terrorism, which can be linked to immigration, because there has been folk that have been connected to dark things. We want to have the knowing that we can live peacefully together long into the future. And that means we are going to stand up for ourselves, right? We're not going to join any fanatical group or anything like that. We're going to come from the heart, and we're going to challenge the council. And we're going to say, if you provide me the information that I need, I'm happy to pay my tax. Okay? So that's the first thing.